I have three types of projects. Most of them start as a solution to a problem, but the main difference between them is time. Type 1. These projects are the bare minimum. 60 minutes or less. The only objective with these is to fix the problem as soon as possible. Some of them kind of remind me of Sid's Toys and Toy Story, but if I'm being honest, the stuff I make has nothing on those. But there isn't much else to these, just quick solutions with minimal effort. Type 2. This is the stuff that I put a decent amount of effort into, but I still consider it short term. They're never as complete as I'd like, but as they say, done is better than perfect. So this project began as an attempt to get better production quality for these videos. My microphone desperately needed an upgrade. Before I got a new one, I just wanted to see if I could get any more out of it. But my labors resulted in pretty much zero noticeable difference. So I bit the bullet and I found myself a better microphone on Marketplace. This microphone was a bit heavier, so it took a few extra days of messing around, but I think it came out pretty solid. Again, this was a Type 2 project. I wanted to keep dialing things in and improving upon it, but getting stuck on all those little details can easily turn days into weeks. Most of the time, the juice just isn't worth the squeeze. Type 3. This is where things can get a little weird. Chasing the last 10% of anything is a lot of work. The time it takes seemingly increases exponentially, and I'm not so sure you can even get to 100%. It's like watching paint dry, except I'm the paint. Okay, I don't know if that made sense. If you saw my last video, I built this desk fan inspired by the Braun HL70, and almost immediately after posting that video, the fan was back in pieces. It wasn't that it didn't work, but the bottom line is that it was still a first draft, and I just wanted it to be a lot better. This is when it became a Type 3 project. An infinite cycle of 1 step forward, 5 steps back. While I was working on the design changes for the fan, I had the opportunity to partner with JLC 3DP for this video. They provide high-end 3D printing services with a wide range of materials to choose from, including stainless steel and full-color resin. But ordering parts is pretty simple. Just upload your files, choose your desired material, and submit them for a quick design review. If everything looks good, they start production immediately after payment. After browsing through their material selection, I immediately had the idea to get a few of the clear parts for the fan printed in their clear resin. I was really impressed with how good they turned out, and the packaging was really solid too. So if you're interested in using their services, check out the link in the description. Okay, so I've had a pretty hard time deciding how technical I want to get for these videos, so I'll try my best to keep it light. So the first thing I want to talk about is the fan blade. That easily took up the most amount of time for this project. The very first version was pretty much terrible in all aspects. It was way too heavy and the vibrations were crazy. And the second version was the one I used in the previous video. That one was fine, but it was basically just a lighter version. For the final version, I sort of went down a rabbit hole. So I did a ton of research on crossflow fans because I just wanted to optimize it as much as I could for vibrations and just for airflow in general. I wanted it to be better. So I found a paper on blade design and I just basically replicated what they had found was the optimal shape of the blade. I also added a few more individual blades. I think the first two versions had 14 and the latest version has 18. The other changes I made were done in the print settings. The motor shaft doesn't go all the way through the blade, and because of that, I figured that it would help to sort of bias the mass towards the bottom of the blade where it's closer to the motor. And to do this, I basically just made the upper section of the blade a little bit more hollow, and then the bottom I had higher infill, so it's a little bit more dense on the bottom, just to try to bias the mass a little bit towards the motor, if that makes sense. Oh, and then I also modeled in some bridges towards the top because I didn't want to have supports on the inside. So those bridges basically gave enough support for the first solid layer. That way I only had to put supports on the outer edge of the fan blade. And the other change I made is, I call it the mouse wheel, if you can see right there. So that's this right here, that's how you switch it on and off. So I came up with that because on the first version, there was just too much resistance on the switch, and this is how I turn it on and off, is by twisting this. And you basically needed to use two hands to do that. So I didn't really like that and I wanted to come up with a better way to turn it on and off. So the mouse wheel is the solution to that. And basically I just attached a gear to the switch and then another gear attaches to the mouse wheel, and that's how it turns the switch. The other reason I did that was I wanted the bottom to be solid, and on the first version obviously this is the bottom. The only thing supporting that was the switch, so it kind of was a little wobbly when you'd set it vertically. Oh yeah, I also added ventilation on the back here, and then inside there's ventilation going all the way through to the top. So that's pretty much all I want to talk about for the design changes. There's a lot more small stuff that I did, but I don't feel the need to really go into it all. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to keep going on. Hopefully I wasn't too boring. That is it for the design discussion. Okay, where was I? Alright, that's a wrap. Today marks exactly 3 months since I had the idea to build this fan, and all I can say is that I am exhausted. But I learned a lot, and that's my main goal. Like I said earlier in this video, chasing the last 10% of anything is a lot of work, and thankfully, I came pretty close to meeting my expectations for this fan. But it definitely consumed a lot more time than I had imagined. Moving forward, I'm probably going to stick to the second type of project for a while. Honestly, it's just fun to make stuff, and my hope is that as I learn more and get more resources, I can hopefully make better stuff in a shorter time frame. I think I did a better job of showcasing the fan in this video, because I know in the last one I kind of screwed that up. So I do have a video planned for a few weeks from now, so stay tuned for that. I look forward to reading all the comments, and be sure to let me know what types of projects you've been working on. That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. What do you think, Ens?